Hare Krishna. So in this particular video, we'll be discussing H.C. Verma Concepts of Physics Part 1, Newton's Law of Motion Chapter and Exercises. ठीक है? So हम लोग without wasting any time, we'll directly start with the questions. So Supernova course में we have already discussed about the basics, how to write the equations, and some sheets were also given. So these are also given. You can try to solve H.C. Verma. I'll share with you the PDF, or if you have the hardboard, you can start solving, and then I'll be just showing you how to solve certain questions. So we'll start without wasting any time. See exercise question number 1. It is given a block of mass 2 kg placed on a long frictionless horizontal table is pulled horizontally by a constant force F. It is pulled by a constant force F and its mass is given as 2 kg. The mass is given as 2 kg. It is pulled. It is found to move 10 meter in the first 2 seconds. It is found to move 10 meter in the first 2 seconds. So the question is, find the magnitude of F. 10 meter in the first 2 seconds. So can I find the acceleration? Yes. See, I'll directly apply S equals to ut plus half at square. The block was initially at rest. The block was initially at rest, and in 2 seconds it reached up to here. So this term is 0 and this is half. Acceleration into t square is 4. So this is 2 and acceleration is 5. Therefore force is mass into acceleration, and that I am getting as 10 newtons. Now let us move on to the second question. Second question is, a car moving at 40 km per hour is to be stopped by applying brakes in the next 4 meter. So a car is moving and initial speed is given as 40 km per hour, and the remaining of the problem is given in, so 40 km per hour is to be stopped by applying brakes in the next 4 meters. If the car weighs 2000 kg, if the car weighs 2000 kg, find the average force that must be applied on the car. Okay, so can I find the acceleration? Yes. This will be, initial speed is 5 by 18 into 40 meter per second, that is 100 by 9 meter per second. If I need to find out the acceleration, I will use v square minus u square equals to 2as. Certainly this problem can also be solved using work energy theorem, but we are not going into that particular chapter right now. V square is 0, so it will be minus u square 3 4. So it is u square equals to 2 into acceleration, and s, if you carefully see, it is 4. So this implies acceleration is coming out to be negative, and how much it is coming? This is 8. So this is 8 ones are 8, 20, 8 twos are 16. This is 1250 by 81. This is the acceleration. And if you want to find out the force, what will be the force? Of course, acceleration will be negative and minus sign is here, which goes to show car was going in this direction and force is being applied in this direction to stop it. So force is mass into average force was asked. So average force is mass into average acceleration. Mass is 2000 kg. So 2000 multiplied by acceleration is 1250 by 81. 1250 by 81, and force will be negative, signifies that it is acting in the backward direction. So if you solve it, hopefully you'll get the answer. 125 2 is 250 multiplied by 10 to power 4 by 81, and this is one minus sign, minus 3.1 approximately into 10 to power 4 newtons. This is approximately, not exactly. So this is question number 2. Let us come to question number 3. If you see question number 3, in a TV picture tube, electrons are ejected from the cathode with negligible speed. Say for example, this is cathode ray tube which is there in a TV, and from here the electrons are ejected with a negligible speed, and it is said, and reach a velocity of 5 into 10 to power 6 meter per second in traveling 1 centimeter. Assuming straight line motion, find the constant force exerted on the electron. Assuming straight line motion means it moves in a straight line, and here the final velocity, it is given 5 into 10 to power 6. It is quite high anyway. 5 into 10 to power 6 meter per second, and the distance it has traveled is 1 centimeter. Find the average force or the constant force exerted on the electron. Same concept which have been discussed previously. You have to find the acceleration it will be v square minus u square is 2as. V square is 25 into 10 to power 12 and u square is 0 because it was given negligibly small speed. Here it was released at negligibly small speed. That is 2 into a into s is 10 to power minus 2 meter. I've got acceleration. Force is mass into acceleration. Mass is 9.1 into 10 to power minus 31. This is the standard mass of an electron. I guess that is what is given. 9.1 into 10 to power minus 31. Yes, that is the standard mass of an electron. Mass into acceleration is 25 into 10 to the power 12 by 2 into 10 to power minus 2. So if you solve it, see, I'll just teach you how to resolve these expressions. This is approximately 12.5. 12 nines is approximately 108 and 0.59 is 4.5. That is 112.5 into 10 to the power. This is 14, minus 2 goes up 14. This will be 10 to power minus 17 newtons. That is approximately 1.125 into 10 to power minus 15 newtons. See, you can multiply this also, or how I did is 12 nines is 108 and 0.5 remains. 0.5 nines is 4.5. I added it and I wrote it 112.5. So this is the answer. Now let us come to question number 4. Okay, let us come to question number 4. So here is a ceiling. A block of mass 0.2 kg suspended from the ceiling by a light string. 0.2 kg is suspended by a light string. Light string means the string is massless. A second block of mass 0.3 kg suspended from the first block through another string. Find the tension in the two strings. 0.3 kg suspended. Find the tension in the two strings. So this is at rest. So naturally, on this particular block, the downward force will be mass into gravity. When I will be solving, I will always take gravity 10 meter per second square. In HCV, some questions, they have taken the value of G as 9.8 meter per second square. So the answer may be a little bit different in terms of decimals. That doesn't matter. So 0.3 kg, so the weight which is acting is approximately 3 newtons. So the tension here will be 3 newtons exactly. And if you consider, if I want to find out tension here, we see that if I draw the FBD of this block, the downward force is 2 and the tension is also acting in downward direction, that is 3. So here the tension should be 5 Newton. I could have solved this using concept of system as well. So the total weight of the block will be 2 plus 3, 5, 50 Newton downward. So the tension directly also I can say as how much? Sorry, 2 plus 3 Newton. So the total weight is 5 Newton. So the tension here should be 5 Newton. Both the methods are equally well applicable in this particular problem. Let us come to question number 5. Two blocks of equal mass m are tied through a light string. One of the blocks is pulled along the line joining them. Two blocks of mass m are tied by a light string and they are pulled along the line joining them. By a constant force F, find the tension between the blocks. So I have to find the tension at this point. See, in one string, tension can act in both the directions. How? For this particular block, tension will act away from the body, and for this particular block, tension will act away from the body so as to pull it. The business of tension is to always pull. Anyway, it is quite natural that if I pull this with a force F, the acceleration of the system will be forced by the total mass. This is the acceleration of system. Now, if I draw the FBD of this IC, tension is acting in this direction and this is the only horizontal force. So I'll directly add tension equals to mass into the acceleration, and that is, I've directly got the answer, tension F by 2. You can draw the FBD of this also to get the answer. If you draw the FBD of this, you have force in this direction and you have tension in this direction. Right? So if I, how will I write? F minus T, this is moving in this direction, so this direction is to be considered positive. F minus T equals to mass into acceleration, that is F by 2m. Right, F by 2m. So tension is, again, if you see, it is coming out F by 2. So the tension will not change whichever block you choose for drawing the free body diagram. So I hope this much is clear. So these are the first 5 questions. I'll quickly erase the board and we'll start with the 6th question. Yeah, so now let us move with the 6th question. Question number 6 is a particle of mass 50 gram moves on a straight line. The variation of speed with time is shown in the figure. Vt graph is given to me in the picture. This is V and this is T. Initially the particle was accelerating, then with constant speed and then retarding. So if you carefully study the graph, you will see that this particular point is 3 seconds in the picture. Yeah, this is 3 seconds in the picture and this particular point is 5 seconds in the picture. What is the speed as per given? It is 15 meter per second. And the mass of the body is given as 50 gram. I'll write it as 0.05 kg, right? 1, 2, 3, yeah. 0.05 kg. So, I have to find the force acting on the particle at t equal to 2 seconds. Suppose here is t equal to 2 seconds. I am supposed to find out the force acting on the particle at 2 seconds. That is mass into acceleration at 2 seconds. So mass is 0.05, and what is the acceleration at this point? See, from this point to this point, acceleration is constant. From point A to B, acceleration is constant. And what is the value of this acceleration? Slope of this, that is this by this. This by this is 15 and this is 3. 15 by 3 is 5. So I directly have the answer. That is 25. 0.25. The answer is 0.25 newtons is the force acting this particular at t equal to 2 seconds. At t equal to 4 seconds, the body is moving with constant speed, therefore no force will act. And at t equal to 6 seconds, I guess this halts at 8 seconds. So 6 seconds is somewhat here. So now if you study this point, force equals to mass, as we already have 0.05 into acceleration. If you carefully see, the acceleration will be the slope of this graph. So this is 15 and this is again 3. 15 by 3 is 5, but acceleration is minus 5 because this is coming down. So I've written a minus 5. Force will be exactly same. 5 5 is 25 and 2 decimals back. But this will be a negative. So force is negative. Therefore, the body is coming to rest finally after from a speed of 15 meter per second. Body finally comes to rest. So force will be negative. Just make sure of this thing. Okay. Now let us come to question number 7. Question number 7 says, two blocks A and B of mass MA and MB respectively are kept in contact on a frictionless table. There is a frictionless table and I have A and B. Mass of A is MA and mass of B is MB. And it is said that experimenter pushes the block A from behind so that the blocks accelerate. They will accelerate together. If the block A exerts a force F on block B, if the block A exerts a force of F on block B, what is the force exerted by the experimenter on A? Let this force be F, it is given in the question, and let the experimenter apply a force of Fe. I have to find Fe. Now if you carefully see the acceleration of system, if the acceleration of system I take, what is the force external? Fe, and the total mass is mass of A plus mass of B. So this should be this should be the acceleration of the system. Now let us draw the FBD of MB. If you draw the FBD of MB, what is the force acting? There is only one force, and that is F, which is given to you in the question, that A exerts a force of F on B. That force I have drawn. There is only force acting, so therefore I can say F equals to mass of B into acceleration of the system, that is Fe by MA plus MB. So therefore I have the value of Fe. What is the value of Fe? Directly I can say the value of Fe from this equation is F multiplied by MA plus MB by MB. This is the answer. I was supposed to find the force exerted by the experimenter. Let us come to question number 8. Question number 8 is raindrops of radius 1 millimeter and mass 4 gram. Raindrops of radius 1 millimeter, that is 10 to power minus 3 meter, and mass 4 grams, right? 4 milligrams, sorry. Mass is 4 milligram. Okay. Are falling with a speed of 30 meter per second. This is falling with a speed of 30 meter per second on U is 30 meter per second. This is not, don't confuse this with mg weight. This is milligram. This is falling on the head of a bald person. The drops splash on the head and come to rest, assuming equivalently that the drops cover a distance equal to the radii on their head. Okay, after dropping, what will be the shape? It will be like this, right? And once it has fallen down, after falling down, it covers a distance, how much equivalent to its radii, means 10 to power minus 3 meter. After this drop has fallen down, the drop will come down like this. Drop will come down like this, and when it is, and now from here it has fallen down by a distance of how much? Equal to its radius. This is what is given on the picture. Estimate the force exerted by each drop on the head. I'm supposed to find out the force exerted by each drop on the head. How do I solve this question? First of all, I need to find out the average acceleration, or more precisely retardation of this particular drop. So after falling by a distance of the radius, this drop finally splashes out. It get that raindrop gets broken. So therefore, here I'll assume that final speed is 0, and here the speed was given already, that is 30 meter per second. So I'll apply v square minus u square equals to 2as to find out the acceleration first of all. So v square is 0 square minus u square is 900. That is 2 into acceleration, and s is how much? 10 to power minus 3 meters. So I have the acceleration with me as minus 450 into 10 to the power 3 meter per second square. This is the acceleration, and I had to find the average force which the drop will exert on the head. If you see the question carefully, you are supposed to find what? Estimate the force exerted by each drop on the head. So this is the acceleration of the drop. Means when I apply F equals to ma, this will give me the force exerted on the drop by the head. From third law, we can also say that this will be the same force which the drop will apply on the head, which is being asked in the question. So therefore, I'll directly solve now. Mass into acceleration. How do I find the mass? So I'll have to find mass using density into volume. Because this is a water drop, I have the density as 10 to power 3 kg per meter cube, and volume I can find out, and this is the acceleration. So what is d? It is 10 to power 3 kg per meter cube. What is the volume? 4 by 3 pi r cube. And what is r? Okay, mass is already given to me in the picture, right? Okay, mass is already given to me in the picture, then I guess I can directly find it out. Mass is given, radius was given. Okay, then I can directly find it out. I don't need to use this particular formula. From here also you can find out, like volume you can use 4 by 3 pi r cube, and r is given 1 millimeter. 1 millimeter means 10 to power minus 3 meter. 4 by 3 pi r cube into this much acceleration you can do. This way also you can find out. However, the mass is directly given to me in the picture. The mass is given to me directly in the picture, that is 4 milligram. So mass, I'll write 4 milligram. So 1 gram is already 10 to power minus 3 kg, and milligram means further 10 to power minus 3. And into acceleration is, I'm just writing the magnitude 450 into 10 to power 3. We really need to check the calculations once, so that we are confident that we have solved it correctly. 45 into 4 is 180, 1 extra 0 into 10 to power minus 3. So the answer is coming out to be 1.8 newtons. So you can check once the answer, it should be 1.8 newtons only. Yeah. Now let us proceed to the next question, question number 9. Question number 9 is, particle of mass 0.3 kg subjected to a force F equals to minus kx. Particle of mass is given 3 kg, it is subjected to a force of minus kx. It is given to you in the question. You remember I was teaching you functions. So force is a function of x, that is the displacement. So you don't have to worry what kind of force this is. Force is a function of x, that is what you are supposed to worry. It can also be written like this. Force is a function of x, and that is minus kx. That's it. Force is a function of x, and that is minus kx. Mass is given, I guess, 0.3 kg. Mass is given to me as 0.3 kg. Now it is said k is given to you 15 Newton per meter. What will be its initial acceleration if it is released from a point x equals to 20 centimeter? 20 centimeter basically means 0.2 meter, and the value of k is 15 excuse me, 15 Newton per meter is given k. So what is the force? Minus k, and x I can directly put there 0.2. So this is minus 30, that is minus 3 newtons. If the force is minus 3 newtons, what will be the acceleration? F by mass, that is minus 3 by mass, is 0.3, and that is minus 10 meter per second square. One thing you are supposed to take care is that What is the meaning? What is the significance of this minus sign? I'll tell you. Actually, this force F equals to kx. I should tell this before proceeding ahead because till now we haven't encountered springs. Just let me tell you one small thing. Consider that this is a spring. You must have seen springs in your life. Real life, you must have seen springs. Let me quickly tell you just one thing. This is, suppose for example, this is a block of mass m which is attached to a spring. Every spring has a spring constant. Every spring has a spring constant. Spring constant is just like, say for example, a person has a mass, a person has a volume. Huh? You're getting, I mean, everything has some characteristics which is associated with that thing, with that particular thing. In a similar way, spring has an associated characteristic with it, and that is called spring constant. It is a constant for a particular spring. For different spring constants are there. Now spring constant is, suppose for example, k, it is denoted by k. Now this is the natural length of the spring. This is a term which is called natural length. It means spring is not elongated or the spring is not compressed. It is naturally kept. This is not elongated, neither it is compressed. So this is spring constant given. Now when this body is displaced by x, say I have elongated or compressed. If I'm taking the block rightward by x, am I elongating it or am I compressing it? What am I doing? I'm elongating the spring by x. So when the body will be here, you tell me, where will the spring apply force on this body, rightward or leftward? Say for example, I have kept this body here. Now the spring will apply force leftward or rightward. This was the natural length. The spring will apply a force leftward because you are elongating it. If you leave it, it will come back towards its natural length. Now, what is the force that the spring will exert? So the spring force is equals to k, which will be given to me in the question. It is a constant, into x. What is x? Either elongation or compression, it doesn't matter. Say for example, rather than elongating the spring in that direction by x, I would have compressed it by pushing this block in this direction by a distance x from the natural length. Just ensure one thing, that the elongation or the extension and the compression have to be measured from where? From the natural length of the spring. So from the natural length, if I bring the block by leftward by x, so this gets the spring gets compressed by x. So where will the spring apply force? Towards the, towards the right. It is from common sense you can understand. If you compress the spring, it will want to regain its shape. It will push it back. If you elongate the spring, it will want to come back. So it will push the block in that direction. And what will be the force? Kx. Now you carefully see, k is a constant and x depends. What is that? Elongation or compression. Simple. So in this particular case, the expression which was given was of spring force. K is a constant, as you can see, 15 Newton per meter. SI unit of K. This is Newton and this is meter. If you send meter downward, it will be Newton per meter. That is the SI unit of K. That was given to you in the question, and X will be provided to you in the question. And then certainly if these things are given, you can find out the spring force as well. Now let us go to the next problem very quickly. I'll erase the board. So we have covered up to question number 9. We'll start with question number 10. So the question number 10 is, if you see, there are two springs and a block is connected in between. Let us talk about question number 10. Question number 10 is, here is one spring, here is one block, and here is another spring, and here is a wall. This spring constant is K1 and this spring constant is K2, and this is a mass M. Both the springs initially are unstretched. If the block is displaced by a distance x and released, what will be the initial acceleration? Both the springs are initially unstretched, so they will not apply any force. F equals to kx. If x is 0, that means the spring is not stretched, spring force is 0. So suppose for example, if I displace this block by x, it is not given in which direction. Let me say that it is going in this direction by x. So when the block comes here, where will this spring apply force? In this direction. How much? K2 into this compression x, right? And as far as this spring is concerned, where will this spring apply on this? I hope you are able to get the figure. See, figure will be like this. Figure will be like this. This was the natural length. It has got elongated by x, and this has got this spring has got compressed by x. So this will apply a force in this direction, that is k2x, and this will pull it in a direction like leftward, k1x. So what is the net force? K1x plus K2x, and what is the net acceleration? This much. Finished. This is question number 10. Now let us discuss question number 11. I guess that was asked in the problem. Yeah. What will be the initial acceleration? Why initial? Because when x changes, acceleration will change. Therefore, it is said find the initial acceleration. That word is important. Now let us come to question number 11. Small block B is placed on another block A of mass 5 kg. B is placed on another block of mass 5 kg and length is 20 centimeter, that is 0.2 meter. Initially, the block B is near the right end of block A. A constant horizontal force of 10 Newton acts on block A. Okay. All the surfaces are assumed frictionless. Find the time elapsed before the block B separates from A. What will happen is if you apply a force on A, because the surfaces are frictionless, that is mu is 0, coefficient of friction is 0, block B will remain here only, and the block A will slip under block B. This will just slip, pass away. Block B will remain fixed here only, and this will fall down once the block A has completely slipped down from under B. So, very simple question. S is given to me, and acceleration of A I know. Acceleration of A, there is only one horizontal force acting on A. If I draw the FBD of B, certainly this normal will act. Earth's normal will act, ऊपर से normal लगेगा, and the mg is in this direction, and a force of 10 Newton is acting. But since I'm considering horizontal motion, I'm only bothered with the horizontal forces. So force upon mass is this much. Acceleration is 2 meter per second square. S equals to ut is 0, half at square. So what is the time taken? If you see, time taken for covering this distance means this point will come to this point, then this will fall down, right? This is what is asked in the question. Find the time elapsed before block B separates from block A. So final figure में कुछ ऐसा हो जाएगा. It will reach up to here. Block A यहाँ से छोड़ के it will come up to here. Then the block A will be detached from block A. Will get detached automatically. So what is the distance this point has to cover? 0.2 half at square. T value is coming how much? Root under 0.2. Root under 0.2 you can calculate, it will be approximately 0.45. If you have forgotten how to calculate it, let me show you very quickly. This is not physics, but still, just keep it 0 and 20 will come down. So 0.20 comes down, 4 4s are 16, here will come out 400, and this is 8. Approximately I can take 5 5. You can take 4 4 as well. 25 2 4 25. Approximately 5. Why am I taking? Because you can take 4 as well. 4 4 is 16 1 3 36. This is more closer to this. Therefore, for better approximation, I can take 5. So 0.45 seconds will be the answer. That is root of this. So you can see the answer will be this. Now let us come to question number 12. Question number 12 is: a man has fallen into a ditch of width D, and two of his friends are slowly pulling him out using a light rope and two fixed pulleys as shown in the figure. So if you see the figure, it will be like this. So both of them, so his friend has fallen into a ditch. I'll not draw a person, I'll draw like a mass only. And they are trying to pull this person out of the ditch. Let us keep it like this only. Yeah, this is ground, don't get confused. These things are walls, and these two people are standing over here. This is one person, and this is another person, and they are pulling with a constant force F. Both are pulling with the same force. This is given to me in the question. Now it is said, show that the force exerted by each friend on the road increases as the man moves up, and find the force when the man is at a depth h. Find the force when the man is at a depth of h. So let us say that this depth is h, and this width is given to me d. This entire width is given to me d. Now look at the diagram very carefully. I'm supposed to also find the force when the man is at a depth of h. So let the man be at a depth of h. I'm supposed to find out the forces. Now if it is given to me in the question that the person is moving up with a slowly, person is moving up slowly. Let us draw the FBD of the person. So this is F as well, because this is one string coming like this. So tension at all points will be same. Tension will be equal to the force with which we are pulling the string in this particular diagram. So F here will be F. Person is pulling with F. Here also the force will be F. If you carefully see, this is theta and this is theta. Both will be equal. Now, for the person to slowly move up, upward forces must be equal to the downward forces. Slowly, what does this mean? Slowly basically means acceleration will be 0. Correct? So therefore, upward force is what? F cos theta. This F has a component of F cos theta in this way, and this F will have a component of F cos theta in this direction. So F cos theta and F cos theta will add up. That is 2F cos theta, and this should be equal to the weight of the person, that is mg. Right? This should be equal to the weight of the person, that is mg. So what force should be applied? Force that will be applied is mg by 2 cos theta. Now the only problem is cos theta is not known to me. Theta is not known to me, so I cannot write the answer like this. I have to change cos theta. What is cos theta if you carefully see? Cos theta is base by hypotenuse. Base is h, and what is hypotenuse? Hypotenuse is, if you see this is d, this will be d by 2, half of this. So this length is d by 2. So this is d by 2, this is h. So hypotenuse is root under h square plus d square by 4, right? So I'll substitute it here. This is mg by 2 into what is cos theta, h, and this will go up, root under h square plus d square by 4. This is the answer. This is the force which must be applied when the man is at a depth of h. This is the answer. Also, second part of the question was that you have to show that when the person is moving up, we need to apply a greater amount of force. When the person moves up, we need to apply greater amount of force. Why will that happen? I'll explain from here only. See, when a person reaches a height here, I mean a depth here, then what will happen? If you carefully see the diagram, something like this will happen. So if you see, this angle will be increased. Let us say this is theta dash, and I have to apply force F only. Let us say I have to apply F dash force, right? I have to apply F dash force to lift him up. If I draw, if I again try to analyze, 2F dash cos theta dash should be equal to mg, because again he has to be moved slowly up. This is the second situation. But if you carefully see, F dash is mg by 2 and 1 by, okay, let us take it like this only. See, if you carefully see, theta dash is more now in comparison to this. Theta dash is more. What does this mean? If theta dash is more, cos theta will decrease. Cos theta dash will decrease. Therefore, I must increase f. This f must be large, so that right side remains mg. In this equation also, right side is always mg. But if you increase theta, cos theta will decrease. F must be increased to balance. Therefore, as the person rises up, more force should be added, so that uska jo component hai, because theta is increasing, so more force I should give, so that component, both addition of components remain the same, and that is mg in the downward direction. So that is a physical explanation of that. Let us come to question number 13. Question number 13 is, elevator shown in figure is descending with an acceleration of 2 meter per second square. Elevator is descending with an acceleration, mind you, be very careful with these terms. If it would have been deceleration, I would have written a equal to minus 2 meter per second square. But in the question it is, elevator is descending with an acceleration of 2 meter per second square. Mass of block A is 0.5 kg. It is shown that mass of this block is 0.5 kg, and it is said find the force exerted by A on B. Find force exerted by A on B. I have been given no data about B, so instead of finding the force which A exerts on B, I will find the force which B exerts on A, and the same amount of force A will also exert on B. So if you draw the FBD of A, normal is acting in upward direction, and this is 5, 0.5 into G, that is 5. So if I write the equation, this is moving down, so this direction I have to consider positive. Equation is 5 minus n equals to mass into the acceleration, that is 2. So I am seeing that n equals to 4 Newton, and this is the answer. Let us come to question number 14. This 4 Newton is what A applies on B, so B will also apply on A 4 Newton only. Both will apply on each other 4 Newton only. Yeah. So now let us come to question number 14. Question number 14 is, pendulum bob of mass 50 gram. A pendulum bob of mass, it is 50 gram. I'll directly write it as 0.05 kg. 1, 2, 3, yes. Is suspended from the ceiling of an elevator. Find the tension. If the string of, find the tension in the string if the elevator goes up with an acceleration 1.2 meter per second square. if the elevator goes up with an acceleration of 1.2 meter per second square. Please listen to this question very carefully. It's a good question. If the elevator goes up with 1.2 meter per second square, I am supposed to find the tension. So if I draw the FBD of this ball, upward is tension and downward is mg, that is 0.5 Newton will be the weight. And overall, this is going up with an acceleration of 1.2. Overall, this is going up with an acceleration of how much? 1.2 meter per second square. So what will be the equation? This direction I am supposed to consider positive. I'll write t minus 0.5 equals to m into g. 0.05 into, sorry, acceleration, that is 1.2, right? So what is the value of t? It is 0.5 plus 12 5 is 60 and 3 shifted back. Yeah, this will be the answer. So what is that? T is how much? 0.56 newtons. So this is the first question, first part of the question. Second is goes up with a deceleration of 1.2 meter per second square. Now listen, if it goes up with a deceleration of 1.2 meter per second square as it is given in the question, if it goes up with a deceleration of 1.2 meter per second square, it means it is going down with an acceleration of 1.2 meter per second square. So now I will change the equations a little. I will just simply change the equations a little. This side I am rubbing. So now FBD is still like this, but it is going down with an acceleration. It was given going up with a deceleration, so I am assuming it is going down with an acceleration of 1.2 meter per second square. So what will be the equation now? Downward direction is to be considered positive. I will write 0.5 minus t equals to mass into acceleration. Acceleration is 1.2. It is given to me. So tension is 0.5 minus 0.06, that is 0.04 newtons. Sorry, 50 minus 6 is 44. 0.44 newtons. Yeah. So that should be the answer. Question 6 goes up with uniform velocity. Question number C. This is the C part of the question. If you see, the lift goes up with uniform velocity. So if the lift goes up with uniform velocity, this will also go up with uniform velocity. It means it has basically no acceleration if you see it from the ground. So if this has no acceleration, this is going up in uniform velocity, this means tension should be exactly equal to mg. So for part C, T is exactly mg. So what is the value of m? Multiplied by g, that is 0.5 newtons. Right? Now let us come to question number D. It goes down with an acceleration of 1.2 meter per second square. It goes down with an acceleration of 1.2 meter per second square. Answer will be exactly this. So whether it says goes up with a deceleration of 1.2 meter per second square, or it comes down with an acceleration of 1.2 meter per second square, equations will be same and answer will be same. And part E is goes down with deceleration 1.2 meter per second square. It means it is basically going, question is goes down with a deceleration 1.2 meter per second square. So downward deceleration is 1.2 meter per second square. So I can say acceleration is upward. How much? 1.2 meter per second square. My equations will change. So my equations will become T minus mg equals to mass into acceleration, because acceleration is upward. It is going down with a deceleration means coming up. So mass into acceleration is, what was the answer? 0.06. Yeah. So T is again 0.56. 0.06. I picked it from there directly. Yeah. So I hope you have understood this problem. This problem is all about acceleration and deceleration and how to put it in the equations properly. Finally, F bol raha hai goes down with uniform velocity. Whether it goes up with uniform velocity or whether it goes down with uniform velocity, it does not matter. Acceleration will be 0. So always T will be equal to mg in those situations. Yeah. Now let us come to question number 15. Let me quickly rub the board. Yeah. So question number 15 is, person is standing on a weighing machine placed on the floor of an elevator. Before solving question number 15, I'll just give you a small idea about weighing machines. Weighing machine, basically what it measures, your weight or the normal you exert on the weighing machine. Always remember that weighing machine will exert the normal force which you exert on the weighing machine. weighing machine does not measures your weight because weight is constant. But there will be many such situations in which the reading of the weighing machine may change, because weighing machine doesn't measure the weight. It actually measures the normal which you exert on the weighing machine. With this concept, we shall start this problem. Person is standing on a weighing machine placed on the floor of an elevator. So this is an elevator and a person is standing on a weighing machine like this. It is said, elevator starts going up with some acceleration. First of all, it starts moving up with some acceleration. So there are three scenarios I'll draw. It is moving up with an acceleration. Then it is said that it moves with uniform velocity for a while and then finally decelerates to stop. Okay. It was moving up with some acceleration. Let us not draw these figures. It was moving up with an acceleration. Then it moved with constant velocity and then it decelerated to rest. Means A became downward. Decelerate कर रहा है ऊपर की तरफ means acceleration. Means acceleration is downward. This is the question which is given. Now imagine yourself standing in a lift. When the lift is accelerating upward, do you feel more normal on your legs or not? You will feel more normal on your legs. And when the lift is about to stop, the lift must decelerate. When the lift decelerates, you will feel yourself light as if the ground is detached from your feet. So when the lift decelerates upward, you will feel less amount of normal which the floor of the lift will exert on you. So the maximum, now the question is, maximum and minimum weights recorded are 72 kg and 60 kg. The maximum weight recorded means maximum normal is 72 kg, means 720 newtons, and minimum weight recorded is how much? 60 kg, means minimum normal is 600 newtons. This is the maximum normal which is recorded, minimum normal which is recorded, because I just explained to you the readings will not give you the weight of the person, it will give you the normal which the person is exerting on the weighing machine, or what the normal weighing machine will exert on the man. By action reaction pair we understand that. So assuming that the magnitude of acceleration and deceleration are the same, so I have written A and A. Otherwise, if they were different, I would have written A1 and A2. In the question it is given, assuming acceleration and deceleration magnitude are the same, find the true weight of the person and the magnitude of acceleration. Okay, I'm supposed to find the true weight. Now, one thing is pretty obvious, that when the lift is accelerating upward, the reading of normal will be more, because normal will be more, ज़्यादा लगेगा उस पे. So in that scenario, what is the equation? Equation when the lift is going up will be, if you draw the FBD of man, normal is acting in upward direction, his weight is acting downward. I have to see if read the question, find the true weight of the person. I have to find the true weight, because this is the reading of the weighing machine, but what is his actual weight is the question. So normal that the weighing machine will exert on the person is in upward direction and his weight is mg, which is acting downward. Person is moving upward, so equation will be net acceleration of the man is upward, so the equation will be n minus mg equals to mass into acceleration. All right, so what is the normal? Normal is this, it is maximum normal, you have to take 720 minus mg equals to ma. This is the first equation. Now when the lift was decelerating, this was the normal which was recorded. So when the lift is decelerating, this is the case, that acceleration is downward. So what equation I will write? Equation I will write is, in this scenario, since acceleration is downward forces I'll take positive. So equation I'll write mg minus n equals to ma, right? Because downward acceleration is there, downward forces I've considered positive on the man. So mg minus n equals to ma. Now, what is this? Mg minus n. Now in this case only, when the lift is accelerating downward or retarding while going up, minimum normal will be recorded. That is 600 equals to m into a, right? So, can I find the value of mg? I'm supposed to find first of all the true weight. Let me find the true weight. Let us replace ma. So the equation will be mg minus 600 equals to, what is ma? 720 minus mg. So I'm getting 2 mg equals to 1320. So I guess we can cancel g with 10. You'll get the value of m as 66 kg. 66 kg is the true weight of the person. पहले 72 kg नाप रहा था. This was maximum reading and the minimum reading was 60 kg. Don't try to take average. यहाँ पे average आ रहा है. It is because the accelerations are same in magnitude. Don't try to take the average of these two and be happy that you have got the answer. The answer you might be getting by taking average, because this acceleration while going up and this acceleration while going, I mean, both the cases are going up only. I mean, when the lift is accelerating upward, and in the second case, when the lift is retarding, because these magnitude are same, we have got the average. If these accelerations would have been different, we would have got a different weight. I hope you have understood this thing. Otherwise, you have to write the entire equations only and solve. It's not the average. Don't get confused, please, with the answer. Yeah, I can find the acceleration as well, I guess. Find the magnitude of acceleration. Yes, if I've got m, I have n, I can find out a. So that you can find out on your own. That is question number 15. Let us come to question number 16. Find the reading of spring balance shown in the figure. Find the reading of the spring balance shown in the figure. Okay, everything is given to me. Elevator is going up with an acceleration of g by 10. So यहाँ पे एक elevator है. Here is an elevator and here is a spring balance. Just like you have a weighing machine, just like there is a weighing machine, there is something called a spring balance as well. Just like, what does weighing machine measures? Weighing machine measures the normal that is exerted on it. In a similar way, what spring balance measures? This is called spring balance. This will measure the tension in the string. Measures tension in the string which is connected to it. This will measure the tension here. So now the question is, find the reading of the spring balance. Means basically you have to find out the tension at this particular place. Okay, it is given that the elevator is going up with an acceleration of g by 10. Elevator is going up with an acceleration of g by 10. And this is 1.5 and this is 3 kg. Okay, let us try to solve. See, this is 3 kg, right? This is 3 kg, so this will go down and this will go up. So let us draw the FBD of 1.5 kg. So if I take 1.5 kg, weight is acting downward 15 and upward T. Can I write the equation for this? Okay, one thing, be very careful. If you carefully observe, if you go inside the lift, certainly you will see motion in this direction, right? This is going up and this is going down. But the lift is itself going up with g by 10. So therefore, I have to assume that this is going down with an acceleration a with respect to lift, with respect to person inside lift. Okay? This is coming down with an acceleration a with respect to person in lift, and this is going up with an acceleration a with respect to person inside the lift. Okay? Now seeing from ground, when I see from ground, how will I write the equations? See very carefully. ऊपर के तरफ इस पे T लग रहा है, नीचे there is weight acting. So how will I write the equation? Equation will be, since the body, I am assuming it is going up only. So I'll write T minus mg. Yeah, T minus mg will be equal to the mass of the body into what is the acceleration? The net acceleration is, एक तो खुद ऊपर जा रहा है with respect to the person, and lift is also going up with g by 10. So the net acceleration will be a plus g by 10. And when I draw the FBD of 3 kg, 3 kg weight is acting in downward is 30 and upward tension is T. And if I see from the ground, lift is going up with g by 10 and this wants to come down with a. So if I draw the, if I write the equation, this will be 30 minus T. Let us take the downward direction positive. Let us imagine that with respect to ground, it is coming down overall. So 30 minus T will be equal to mass into, what is the acceleration? It wants to come down by a, but the lift is itself going up with g by 10. So the net acceleration will be a minus g by 10. It wants to come down with a, but lift ही ऊपर जा रहा है with g by 10. So net acceleration will be a minus g by 10. So now you have to solve these two equations. Question is what? Find the tension. Okay, I'm supposed to find the tension. Okay, so let us find the acceleration first, no problem. If we add these two equations, I have 15 equals to 4.5a, 1.5 g by 10 minus 3b g by 10 minus 1.5 g by 10. The g and 10 gets cancelled out. So I have here, what is the value of acceleration? It is 16.5 by 4.5. This is the acceleration. Okay, let us find the value of tension. If you substitute T equals to what? 15 plus 1.5 into acceleration, that is 16.5 by 4.5 plus g by 10, I can cancel out directly, write 1, so 1.5. The value of tension is 15 plus 15 3s and 3 is 5.15 5s. This is 6.57 plus 7, that is 22 newtons is the tension. So the tension in the string is 22 newtons. So figure is somewhat like this. If you see, this is 3 and this is 1.5, and this here I have the spring balance which is connected to the ceiling, and I have found the tension how much, 22 newtons. This is also 22, so this will be how much, 44 T, and here is T, so this will be 2T, that is 44. So the reading of the spring balance, you can write either 44 Newton or you can write 4.4 kg, right? Because if in terms of mass you are supposed to tell the answer, you will tell 4.4 kg. So we have discussed up to question number what, 16. Now let us quickly start with question number 17. I'll just quickly rub the board. So now let us start question number 17. What is question number 17? A block of 2 kg suspended from the ceiling through massless spring of spring constant this much. Question number 17. 2 kg suspended from the ceiling through a spring constant is given 100 Newton per meter, and it is being asked what is the elongation of the spring. If it is simply said find the elongation of the spring, it means you have to assume that this is an equilibrium position. So the downward force is how much, 20, and the upward force is kx, as I had explained. Spring force is k into x. So 20 should be equal to k is 100 and this is x. So x is 0.2 meter is the elongation. Now the next question is, if another 1 kg is added to the block, what would be the further elongation? So if I add 1 kg more, so now overall it becomes how much, 3 kg. So now again writing the equations, bottom it is 30 Newton, that is the weight, and upward it will be k into x dash because x I've already used. So what is x dash? If you see, it will be 0.3 meters, right? If you equate the two, x dash is 0.3 meter. So what is the further elongation? Further elongation is final elongation minus initial elongation, that is 0.1 meters. Answer. Let us move to question number 18. Suppose the ceiling in previous problem is that of an elevator. Suppose the ceiling is that of an elevator, it means this is basically now attached in an elevator, and elevator is going up with an acceleration of 2 meter per second square. Elevator is going up with an acceleration of 2 meter per second square. Find the elongations. So let us first of all imagine that simply 2 kg was there and k is given to me 100 Newton per meter. So now it is moving up. So if I draw the free body diagram of 2, downward is mg weight which is acting, upward say for example 100 nu x. But for this I cannot equate because this is moving up with an acceleration of 2. So I'll write ऊपर वाले forces को positive लेंगे because acceleration of 2 kg is upward. So what equation I'll write? 100x minus the weight equals to mass into acceleration, right? Mass into the acceleration. So x is what? 24 by 100, 0.24 meter. This is the extension. Now in the second part it was given to you that 1 kg further is added. Now if 1 kg is further added, what will this become? 300 going up with same 2 meter per second square. So the equations will change. Again it will become say x 100x dash minus 30, that is downward spring force minus the weight, will be equal to 6. Mass into acceleration. So what is x dash? If you see, this is 3.6 meter, 36 by 100, sorry, 0.36 meter. What is for extra elongation? 0.36 minus 0.24, that is 0.12. Extra elongation was asked and this elongation was asked. Answer. Now let us move to question number 19. What is question number 19? You check. Force of buoyancy exerted by an atmosphere on a balloon is B. Let us have a balloon here, and the force of buoyancy, it acts in the upward direction, it is given to you. Force of buoyancy exerted by the atmosphere on a balloon is B in the upward direction and remains constant, and this B is constant, which is given to me in the question. The force of air resistance on the balloon acts opposite to the direction of velocity. Force of air resistance will act opposite to the direction of velocity. Okay, and this is this is common sense. When you are going on a bike and if the bike is accelerating in this direction, air resistance is backward. Is it always backward? No, because if you are accelerating in this direction, air resistance will be in this direction. So air resistance or air drag force, that is also called as drag force or air resistance, whatever you call it. It is opposite to the direction of velocity, and that is what is given in the question. Force of air resistance on the balloon acts opposite to the direction of velocity and is proportional to it. Very important point. Force of air resistance is proportional to velocity. I can write F equals to minus kV. Why minus? क्योंकि velocity अगर positive है तो F negative आ जाएगा, signifying that force is opposite to velocity. Direction of velocity and is proportional to it. Balloon carries a mass m and is found to fall down near Earth's surface with a constant velocity v. Let this be the Earth's surface. It is found that this moves down with a constant velocity v. This is very important. It is a constant v. Mass is m. Okay. Now the question is, how much mass should be removed from the balloon so that it may rise up with a constant velocity v? How much mass should be removed so that, what is the final position? Final situation should be like this. Say for example, I have removed small m from it. Now rather than going down with a constant speed, it should go up with a constant v. Same. This is the situation. So how much m should be removed? So let us draw the FBD of this. Some more forces will be there, like the weight of this, and because this is coming down with constant v, air resistance will be upward. How much? kV. Let us say for example kV. So let us write the equation for this. What equation I will write? Since this is coming down with constant speed, the equation will be mg minus b minus kV, and this should be equal to what? Mass into acceleration, but acceleration is 0 because constant hai, speed. Constant velocity hai, so I will write it 0. This is the equation 1. Now, in this particular situation, say for example, I am going down, I threw some mass, let that be small m. I am supposed to find this mass only. If you read the question, you are supposed to find this small mass, how much you have to throw from the balloon such that you start going up with constant speed v. कितना भार फेंकूं कि ऊपर चले, मैं ऊपर जाने लगूं with a constant speed of v. Okay, let us draw the free body diagram again. So यहाँ पे नीचे की तरफ force लग रहा है weight, and now observe very carefully, buoyancy force ऊपर ही लगेगा. It is given to you in the question. If you read question, the force of buoyancy exerted by atmosphere on a balloon is b in the upward direction and is constant. So you don't have to worry about buoyancy. It will always act upward. But the air resistance, चूंकि ऊपर जा रहा है, air resistance will act downward, magnitude kV. Now what will be the equation? ऊपर का साइड को पॉजिटिव लेना है कि नीचे वाला? ऊपर वाला पॉजिटिव लेंगे कि body is moving upward now. So I'll write the equation as b minus kV minus m minus mg should be equal to 0 again because constant velocity से जा रहा है. I am supposed to find the value of m. Now if you carefully see, you have to eliminate that part which is not given to you in the question. kV is not given to me in the question. B was given. K is not given, so I have to eliminate it. So what do? This 1 minus 2 कर देते हैं. Minus plus plus. So what am I getting? See, mg minus b, kV will get cancelled. So mg minus b, that is mg minus 2b, and this becomes plus. So plus mg minus mg equals to 0. So what am I getting? 2mg minus 2b by g equals to m. So this much mass I am supposed to throw. अगर उसको थोड़ा और अच्छे से लिखेंगे, what is m? This is 2 common ले लेंगे तो this much minus b by g. If you take 2 common, it will be 2m minus b by g. So this is the answer. This much mass we are supposed to throw out from the balloon, so that rather than falling with a constant speed, we have to rise with that same speed upward. Anyway, v doesn't matter. With whatever velocity you are falling, it doesn't matter. Anyway, so this is question number 19. Let us come to question number 20. An empty plastic box of mass m. Now you can solve this question because this question is a replica of the balloon question we have solved just now. But यहाँ पे बस constant velocity के बदले, if you read the question properly, you will see that constant acceleration is given. Apart from that, the situation remains the same. So question number 19, question number 20. Question number 20 में क्या बोला है? An empty plastic is there. An empty plastic box of mass m is found to accelerate up at the rate of g by 6 when placed deep inside water. Say, for example, this is water. This is placed deep inside water. There is a plastic and mass is m. It is found to move up with an acceleration of g by 6. Okay. Now it is said, how much sand should be put inside the box so that it may accelerate down at the rate of g by 6? This is position 1, and let me draw the position 2. Let us say the mass is capital M and I added a mass of small m. Now rather than going up with a g by 6, it will come down with g by 6. Alright. Force of buoyancy will remain constant. If it is not mentioned in the picture, yeah, force of buoyancy does not depend on mass, if you anyhow remember. See, actually problem is, in question there is no mention about buoyancy. Now if you carefully see, the force of buoyancy is V rho G, agar aapko yaad ho, V rho G. Now the mass which m is added, certainly it will change the volume. This rho is the density of liquid, so there is no confusion, but the only confusion is volume. So I will assume an empty plastic box of mass m is found to accelerate. Yeah, put inside the box. See, this box is here, and how much mass m should I put inside the box? So if you put the mass m inside the box, the volume of the box which is submerged inside will not change. So force of buoyancy will remain constant. Try to understand. Without this explanation also, I would have gone ahead. But because I will use this word that you have to assume that buoyancy is constant acting in upward direction B, it is important for me to explain to you why the buoyancy will remain constant. Buoyancy is V rho G, V remains constant. You might have added some sand, but the mass of sand does not affect the buoyant force. The volume will affect, and the volume will remain constant because I have added sand inside the box. So volume remains constant. I hope this much is clear. Now let us quickly write the equations of this. So body is going up. What equation I'll write? B minus mg equals to mass into acceleration. And for this, what equation I'll write? It is coming down. So the weight, carefully write the weight. New weight is m plus mg. This is the weight minus the buoyant force will be equal to mass into the acceleration downward. Is this correct? Yeah. Now, if I add these two equations, what will I get is, these two get cancelled out, and capital M, this also get cancelled out. So this is mg by 6 plus mg by 6, that is mg by 3 plus mg by 6. This is 5 mg by 6 equals to mg by 3. This implies the value of small m that I was supposed to find out, that is a mass that was to be added inside the plastic box, will be 2 by 5 times the mass of the plastic box itself. Good question. Now let us come to quickly question number 21. A force of F equals to V cross A is exerted on a particle in addition to force of gravity. So let us say, for example, here is a mass m and the weight acting is mg. An extra force is to be applied on the this particular body, that is V cross A. Okay, where A is a constant vector in the horizontal direction. Okay, so say for example, we are watching from a distance and this ball is falling. This is exactly how the things are happening. Means you have a ball which is there in the air and this is falling down, right, because of gravity. Now, it is given to you in the question, with what minimum speed a particle of mass m be projected so that it continues to move undeflected with a constant velocity. With what minimum speed it should be projected such that it moves with a constant, velocity, and that also undeflected. Now you see carefully, undeflected means in a straight line. What is the meaning of undeflected? In a straight line. If there is any body, second, two things are given. Firstly, undeflected means it should move in a straight line. Secondly, it should move with a constant speed, means net force should be 0. If you see any body that is acted upon by two forces, it will always still actually it won't be, we won't call it deflected, it's still a straight line motion. Okay, just see, for example, the net force has to be 0. Net force has to be 0. This is the clue. So mg acts vertically downward. Now this force F will act such that F is what? V cross A. It is given to you in the picture. So now this force F equals to V cross A should be acting in such a way कि ये जो F है, it is exactly equal to mg and exactly opposite to mg. Right? It should be exactly opposite to mg and equal in magnitude to mg. This should be the value of F. How to throw the particle like that is the question. If A is a constant vector. Now you see, how should I keep my V? A is a constant vector, it is given in the picture. and it is in horizontal direction. It is given to you A is a constant vector in horizontal direction. What is the meaning of horizontal direction? Means this is the horizontal plane in which A will be there. You can choose any way you want A, this direction, but it should be in a horizontal plane. So if you carefully see, I want to get the final product upward. This is called cross product, V cross A. How should be my V? My V and A should be such that F upar ke taraf आए. So if I keep V out of the plane, see, if I keep V out of the plane like this and A like this, if I keep V like this and A like this, what is V cross A? See, it is vertically upward. V cross A ka matlab from V vector, this A vector, from V to A, you have to move your fingers. So force is in upward direction. So therefore, I have to project the particle out of the plane like this, assuming that A will be in the horizontal plane like this. A, this is V and this is A. So if I do like that, my force is what? V cross A, if you read the cross product in class 11th, V cross A is VA sine theta. Now, question is find the minimum speed. If you read the question is given with what minimum speed it should be projected. So, for V to be minimum, sine theta should be maximum because F का value तो constant है, that is mg. तभी तो वो constant velocity से move करेगा. So, F should be mg. So, LHS is constant. RHS should also be constant. But I need to find minimum A. A is a constant. I need to find minimum V. So for that I can maximize sine theta. Maximum sine theta is 1. So therefore value of V with which I should project is mg by A. Answer. This is the answer. Now let us move to the second question, that is a 22. 22, I guess it is a simple question and can be easily done. It is an Atwood machine and M1 is 300 gram. M1 is 300 gram means I am directly 0.3 kg and this is 0.6 kg. The system is released from rest. Find the distance traveled by the first block in 2 seconds. Find the distance traveled by the first block. This is the first block in 2 seconds. Find the tension and the force. Okay, everything we'll find out. See, you can write down the equations as well, but there is one shortcut to say, for example, this is M1 and this is M2. So shortcut to find out the acceleration of an Atwood machine. Shortcut to find out, see this this is heavier, so this will go down naturally and this will go up, right? With both will go, let us say, with an acceleration of A. So the shortcut to find out A is the heavier mass का weight minus the lighter mass का weight by the total mass. This is the formula for acceleration. The value of tension always comes out to be 2m1 m2g by m1 plus m2. You can directly use this formula and get the result. So what is the acceleration? 6, this was the mass, right? Yeah, so 6 minus 3, that is 3, and the total mass is, what is the total mass? 0.9. So this is 30 by 9, that is 10 by 3 meter per second square is the acceleration. What is the tension? 2 m1 m2g by m1 plus m2. 0.33 is a 3 into 0.2, 0.2 10 is 2, 2 2 is 4. So tension is 4 newtons and this is the acceleration. Now it is said how much this will travel in 2 seconds, right? How much distance this will travel in 2 seconds. Assume u is 0. What distance this will travel? Half a t square. What is a? 10 by 3. Half a t square. How much distance it will travel? 20 by 3 meters. Tension I have found out 4 Newton, that was asked to me. Find the tension in the string and the find force exerted by the clamp on the pulley. This is the clamp. This is called the clamp. So how much force clamp will exert on the pulley? पुली पे कितना लग रहा है फोर्स? नीचे की तरफ टेंशन. So पुली पे नीचे लग रहा है 2t. Clamp will exert a force of 2t in upward direction. See, free body diagram of pulley if you draw, this is t and t. This should be equal to 2t. So clamp will exert 2t. So what is the force? This was part A, this was part B, and the clamp will exert a force of 2t, that is 8 newtons. This is the answer. Let us come to question number 23. Consider the Atwood machine of the previous problem. Again, the same Atwood machine you have to consider. Now it is said, larger mass is stopped for a moment. Larger mass is stopped for a moment 2 seconds after the system is set into motion. Find the time elapsed before the string is tight again. Okay, this is a little difficult question. I'll solve it separately here. See, it is said that suddenly the heavier block which was there, it was stopped for a moment. The heavier block which was there, it was stopped for a moment. Which is the heavier block? This one. Let me redraw the figure. This is how much? 0.6 and this is 0.3. So after the start of the motion, this goes up and this goes down, and immediately after the start, this was stopped for a moment suddenly. After 2 seconds, means for 2 seconds this moved. So what is the final velocity of this? U plus at. U is 0. What is acceleration? I had already found out 10 by 3. So 10 by 3, and what is the time? 2 seconds. So this is speed. I have 20 by 3, means after 2 seconds, if I draw the situation, after 2 seconds, the scenario will be something like this, that this is here and this is here, right? And this is moving up with a speed of how much? 20 by 3. Now it is given to you in the question. If you read the question carefully, you see this is stopped for a moment. This is stopped for a moment and then it is again released. Don't get confused. This is stopped for a moment and then released. It is mentioned it is stopped for a moment. It is not held. It is stopped for a moment and then released. जैसे इसको पकड़ लिया, इसका speed हो गया 0. It means now it will do normal free fall. It was initially having same speed as this one, 20 by 3 downward. But if you hold it for a moment, its speed becomes 0 and now you have released it. But what is the effect? If you hold it suddenly, this will start rising up normally like a free fall, because tension will become 0. See, this was initially going up, you stop this one. So this will continue to move up, right? And then it will come down. This was moving like this, you stop it, so this will continue to move up and then it will come down. Tension becomes 0. So now if you carefully observe, this particular thing, say for example it had a velocity of u. So what is the maximum height it will reach? Maximum height it will reach it u square by 2g. How much time it will take? U by g, right? And if I take this one, in the same time u by g, how much it will fall? How much it will fall? U was 0 because this had been stopped for a moment and then it was released. So u is 0. So it will fall how much? Half g t square. And what is t? Same time. U square by g square. So what is that? If you see, it is u square by 2g. This means when this will reach the topmost point, this will cover the same distance downward, u square by 2g in both the cases. ये अपना मैक्सिमम हाइट पे जब पहुंचेगा ना, वो तो रुकेगा ना एक पॉइंट पे जाके. आपने इसको रोक दिया सडनली, इसका कुछ वेलोसिटी था उस समय, इसका मतलब ये ऊपर जाएगा और रुकेगा एक समय पे. पर ये जितना ऊपर गया उस समय, ये मोमेंटरी रेस्ट पे आने के बाद भी जो गिरेगा, ये जितना ऊपर जाएगा ये उतना ही गिरेगा. व्हाट डज दिस मीन? This means the final situation is something like this कि इसका speed 0 यहाँ पे हुआ and meanwhile ये जितना उठा ये इस point से उतना ही गिरा. Means the string is still just tight. String is just tight. कोई कुछ ढीला नहीं हुआ. देख, ये इतना उठ के इसको ढीला कर देता पर ये exactly उतना ही गिर गया नीचे. It means the string is still tight. So just when the velocity will become 0, it will exert a force and it will start moving in this direction. That is what is given to your question कि when the string will become taut again. So when it will become taut again, exactly after a time of u by g. So what is u? 20 by 3 and by g. This means 2 by 3 second is the answer. The answer is 2 by 3 second. So now we'll move on to the next question. This was, I guess, question number 23. We'll move on to question number 24. Okay, now let us quickly start question number 24. I'll go up to question number 30. Question number 24 is, figure shows a uniform rod of length 30 centimeter and 3 kg. Okay, this is a thick rod and I guess here is a force of 20 Newton and here I am applying a force. This is already given to me in the figure. Now onwards the question will be quite simple because these are figurative things. This is 10 centimeter and this is 20 centimeter given to me in the picture and the mass is 3 kg, right? So now it is given, what is, all the surfaces are smooth. This is a uniform rod of length 30 centimeter having a mass 3 kg. The strings shown in figure are pulled by constant forces 20 and 32 Newton. Find the force exerted by the 20 centimeter part of the rod on the 10 centimeter part. Force exerted by 20 centimeter part on the 10 centimeter part. Let us draw the FBD of 10 centimeter. Okay. Before drawing the FBD, I can see one thing very quickly, that I consider this as a system. So what are the forces? 32 Newton is acting in this direction. So if I take the system into account, this is 3 kg, 32 Newton in this direction, 20 Newton in this direction. Acceleration of the system will be 12 by 3, that is 4 meter per second square. This is the acceleration, certainly there is no doubt about it. Now 20 centimeter, how much force it will apply on 10 centimeter? लेट अस से टेंशन यहाँ पे लगा रहा है, बिकॉज इज अ रॉड के अंदर में टेंशन रहता है, मैंने कहा था 2 cases you have to take tension into account, one is string and one is rod. So this 20 centimeter part will apply a force in this direction, say for example T, and what is the backward force? 20 Newton, ये वाला है ना, this is 20 Newton which will act here. What is the acceleration? I know, and this will move in this direction, so forces in this direction will be considered positive. This is the acceleration is in this direction, right? So these forces will be considered positive. So T minus 20 equals to mass. What is the mass of this thing? See, this is 1/3 of the total. So mass will also be 1/3 of the total, that is 1. And what is the acceleration? 4. So what is the tension? 24. Question number 24. अच्छा, question 24 का answer भी 24. Nice. Let us come to question number 25. Question 25, figure drawn, find the magnitude of acceleration of the blocks. Here is a pulley. Find the magnitude of acceleration of the blocks. This block is 1 kg. This block is also 1 kg. This is 3 meter, this is 4 meter, and this is 5 meter. So if you carefully observe, this angle is 90 degree. If you carefully observe, this angle is 90 degree. And if you look at this angle, it is based by hypotenuse. Cos theta is based by hypotenuse. That means this is 53 degree. And this is 30, right? Cos theta is 3 by 5. It means 53 degree. And this is 37 degree. Okay. Now I am supposed to write the equations of 1 kg and 1 kg and find out the acceleration. See, let me draw here only. I am rubbing these 3 and 4 because we have already found out the results, right? And let me draw the diagram a little bigger so that it becomes more clearer for you. Because it's the first time, therefore I am taking a little bit time to explain. See, if you draw the FBD of 1 kg, क्या क्या force लग रहा है? नीचे की तरफ 10 and one normal here and one tension here. Because this is one string only, tension इस पे भी T ही लगेगा. And one thing you observe, ये 30, ये कितना था? ये 53 था. And this was 37. A mass is same. आप देख के बोल सकते हैं कि चूंकि ये ज्यादा slant है, this will go down in this direction. So acceleration इधर ही रहेगा. And this will go up with acceleration A. Same acceleration रहेगा दोनों का. Now, because this is moving in this direction, while writing F equals to ma, I had given you 4 rules. The third rule, if you see, it was that you have to choose the axis x and y in such a way that the acceleration of the body should be along one of these axes. So the acceleration of the body should be along one of the axes. So I choose this as x and this direction I can choose as y. There is no problem. I can change x and y as per my need. So when I have shifted this as x, what is the component of 10 in this direction? The component of 10 in this direction will be 10 cos how much? See, this is 90 degree, this is 37 degree. So what is the component of 10 in this direction? 10 cos 37 degree. Cos 37 degree means 4 by 5, that is 8 Newton. I hope it is clear. And this component will be 10 cos 53 degree. This is 53. 10 cos 53 is how much? 6 Newton. Now because the block will not move perpendicularly, always I will have n equal to 6 Newton. That is not anyhow consider, that we anyhow will not take into consideration. That is not important. But this is how much? 8 Newton. So I'll write the equation quickly, that 8 minus T will be equal to mass into acceleration, that is 1 into A. Similarly for this one, always remember that mg is acting in this direction. Along the incline हमेशा mg sin theta act करता है. Perpendicular to the incline हमेशा mg cos theta act करता है. यहाँ भी अगर आप ध्यान से देखें, मैं पूरा फिगर मिटा रहा हूँ, आपको इतना टेंशन लेने का जरूरत नहीं था. सिमिलरली यहाँ पे इसका वेट कितना है? 10. तो इस तरफ कितना एक्ट करेगा? Along the incline how much कितना एक्ट करेगा? 10. That is mg sin 53 degree, sin of this angle. That is mg sin 53 degrees 4 by 5, that is 8 Newton. Simple. Perpendicular mg cos theta act करता है. So that is 6. So 8 minus T equal to mass into acceleration. ये ऊपर की तरफ जा रहा है. So this direction, these forces will be positive. That is T minus, what is mg sin theta? 10 sin 37 degree, that is 6. 10 sin 37 degree is 6. Yeah. This is equals to mass into acceleration. You simply add it. I have 2 equals to how much? 2 equals to 2a, right? Yeah, 2 equals to 2a. So acceleration is 1 meter per second square. Done. Now let us come to the next question. Question number 26. If you see question number 26, it is said that a block is kept like this and a block is like this, and I am applying a force like this. So this is M1 which is given to me in the question, and this is M2 which is given to me in the question. Force which I am applying is given m2g by 2. Okay, you have to find the acceleration of m1. Of course, acceleration of both the blocks will be same, right? Now, if you carefully see, if I ask you how much force is required to keep m at rest, suppose for example I rub these things, you tell me how much force I need to apply. Find out the force F such that this one remains at rest. What will be the answer? If this remains at rest, this will also remain at rest. This means upward force should be m2g. It means यहाँ पे force लगेगा m2g. Same है ना, एक ही वायर है. So यहाँ ऊपर अगर इसको रेस्ट पे रहना है सिस्टम को, तो ऊपर कितना लगना चाहिए m2g. Therefore यहाँ पर भी कितना लगना चाहिए m2g. How much force I have to apply backward? m2g. But in the question, if you see, force is not m2g, it is less than that. What is that given in the question? It is m2g by 2 is given. Naturally, this means because this force is less, it will move in this direction. क्योंकि रेस्ट पे नहीं रह सकता ना, इतना चाहिए तो रेस्ट पे रहता, और उतना तो नहीं लगा रहे हैं, so therefore उधर घसकेगा. So therefore this will not be m2g, वो नीचे आएगा. This block will come down. Let us say it comes down with an acceleration of a, and this is tension T. यहाँ पे tension T. What is the equation for this? This is coming down, accelerating down. Equation will be m2g minus T is m2 into a. And what will be the equation for this? See, if you carefully see, two forces are acting, T and m2g by 2. External force was being applied. If you see in the question, it is said. So T, this is moving in this direction, accelerating in this direction, right? क्योंकि ये इधर जा रहा है तो इसको भी खींचेगा उधर. So the equation will be T minus m2g by 2 equals to m1a. I have to find the acceleration. I simply add these two equations. What do I have is m2g by 2 equals to m1 plus m2 into a. I have got the value of acceleration as m2g by 2 m1 plus m2. Finished. Now let us come to question number 27. Question 27 is m1 is 5, m2 is 2 and f is 1. Find the acceleration of the blocks. m1 is 5 and m2 is 2. m1 is 5 and m2 is 2 and दोनों पे जबरदस्ती का 1 न्यूटन I am applying downward. जबरदस्ती का 1 न्यूटन I am applying downward. So this is heavier one, this will go down. Tension BT दोनों पे. What is the equation for this? It is going down. So उसका खुद का weight plus the extra force minus tension should be equal to 5a. दोनों का acceleration same रहेगा, there is no doubt about it. This will go up. So what is the equation? T minus 20 minus 1. नीचे की तरफ लग रहा है ना weight. इसका भी weight नीचे लग रहा है 50. So T minus 1 minus 20 should be equal to mass into acceleration, right? So I have to find the acceleration. I can simply add these two. 51 minus 21, that is 30, should be equal to 7a. So my acceleration is 30 by 7. This is the answer. Another part you can think of yourself, that describe the motion of m1 if the string breaks but f continues to act. So if describe the motion of m1. This is m1. If the string breaks, this will move down. It would have done free fall, but 1 Newton extra is being acted. So कैसे गिरेगा यहाँ पे? 5, एक तो लग ही रहा है 50, and साथ ही साथ एक और लगा रहे हैं 1. So if what is the acceleration? Net force is 51. What is the mass? 5. What is this? Acceleration 10.2 meter per second square. 10.2 है ना? Yeah, 10.2 meter per. This is the answer. It will move in a straight line and with an acceleration of 10.2 meter per second square. Now let us solve question number 28, 29 and 30 quickly. Let us solve question number 28, 29 and 30 quickly. Yeah, so question number 28, if you see carefully, question number 28, the concept which we will use in question number 28 resembles to that what we had used in question number 16. If you see question number 16, the concept we had used in that particular question will be used in question number 28 as well. Question is 1 kg, 2 kg and 3 kg are kept. Question number 28. Look at this question carefully, it's a good problem. This is 1 kg, here is another pulley, this is 2 kg and here is another pulley 3 kg and this is hung like this. You have to find the acceleration basically and how much time this will take to strike this particular pulley, and this distance is given 20 centimeter means 0.2 meter. This is given to me in the question. Okay. See carefully, how do I start? Let us say this tension is T, so this tension will also be T because the same string. This tension is T and this tension is T, so this will be 2T. So here also the tension will be 2t. Now look carefully. Let us say that this goes up with an acceleration of a. If this goes up with an acceleration of a, what is the equation for this? ऊपर की तरफ जा रहा है, it is accelerating upward. 2t minus mg equals to mass into acceleration, right? Now look at this pulley. If this goes up with an acceleration of a, pulley will come down with an acceleration of a. This goes up with an acceleration of a, pulley will come down with an acceleration of a. Let us say pulley is coming down with a, right? Now ये वही क्वेश्चन हो गया कि इसको लिफ्ट में रख लो, लिफ्ट इज कमिंग डाउन विद एन एक्सेलरेशन ऑफ ए एंड ये अपना मोशन कर रहे हैं इंडिविजुअली, बट देयर इज नो लिफ्ट हियर इन द पिक्चर. हाउ डू वी सॉल्व? अगेन वी से दैट ये तो भारी वाला है, लेट अस से दिस गोज डाउन विद एन एक्सेलरेशन a1 विद रिस्पेक्ट टू पुली. दोनों मोशन हो रहा है ना, पुली अगर फिक्स रहता तो हम आराम से निकाल सकते थे दोनों का एक्सेलरेशन, पुली खुद भी चल रहा है. सो नाउ पुली के चलने का एक्सेलरेशन a हम मानते हैं एंड बोलते हैं इसका एक्सेलरेशन इज a1 विद रिस्पेक्ट टू पुली. ठीक है, ऐसे करना है. a1 इज विद रिस्पेक्ट टू पुली डाउन और इसका देन नेचुरली इट विल बी a1 विद रिस्पेक्ट टू पुली अपवर्ड. अगर पुली पे चढ़ के बैठ गए तो मेरे को पुली पे चढ़ के बैठ गए, मान लो पुली पे बैठे हुए तो हम खुद कितना से नीचे आ रहे हैं, ए से. फॉरगेट अबाउट दैट. पुली पे जब हम चढ़ के बैठे हुए हैं ए से नीचे आ रहे हैं, उसमें कोई दिक्कत नहीं है. और इफ अगर मैं पुली पे चढ़ के बैठ गया तो मैं कहता हूं कि मेरे को इसका एक्सेलरेशन a1 दिख रहा है नीचे की तरफ. दैट्स इट. वेरिएबल्स पहले क्लियरली समझ लो. ये ऊपर जा रहा है a1 ए से, आई हैव अज्यूम्ड बिकॉज दिस इज गोइंग अप विद ए. ये इसको तो ए से नीचे आना ही पड़ेगा क्योंकि स्ट्रिंग तो हमेशा टाइट रहना चाहिए. ये ऊपर जा रहा है ए से तो ये नीचे आएगा ए से. अब मैं कह रहा हूँ पुली पे चढ़ के बैठ गया, तो पुली पे चढ़ के बैठने के बाद मेरे को दिख रहा है कि ये a1 से नीचे आ रहा है. पुली पे चढ़ के मेरे को दिख रहा है a1 से नीचे आ रहा है और ये a2 से ऊपर जा रहा है, सॉरी a1 से ऊपर जा रहा है. a1 से नीचे आ रहा है, a1 से ऊपर, ये a1 से नीचे आ रहा है, ये a1 से ऊपर जा रहा है. दिस इज माय assumptions in solving this. Now I am standing on ground. Let us write the equation for this. 2 kg. 2 kg कहाँ जा रहा है? We are assuming it goes up. What is the FBD? अगर 2 kg का FBD में ऊपर टेंशन नीचे 20, तो इक्वेशन क्या लिखेंगे? t minus 20 equals to mass of this into what is the acceleration of this? 2 kg. If you carefully see 2 kg, ऊपर लग रहा है टेंशन, नीचे लग रहा है 20, right? And now for this person it is going up with a1 and person is himself coming down with a. So ground पे रह के कितना ऊपर उठेगा? ये ऊपर के डायरेक्शन को पॉजिटिव मानो तो a1 minus a, right? He wants to go up by a1 but नीचे ही आ जा रहा है पूरा सिस्टम बाई ए. सो ऊपर नेट कितना चला? a1 minus a. कंसिडर दिस थिंग, दिस इज कमिंग डाउन, सो 30 minus t शुड बी इक्वल टू मास. नाउ आदमी देख रहा है a1 से नीचे जा रहा है और आदमी खुद ही a से नीचे जा रहा है. सो ओवरऑल एक्सेलरेशन विल बी a plus a1. आई होप दिस इज क्लियर. देखो आदमी को दिख रहा है कि ये a1 से नीचे जा रहा है और आदमी खुद नीचे आ रहा है a से. तो टोटल एक्सेलरेशन ग्राउंड के रेस्पेक्ट से कितना हो जाएगा? a plus a1. से फॉर एग्जांपल ऐसा करके एक ट्रेन है एंड हियर इज वन पर्सन एंड आई एम स्टैंडिंग ऑन ग्राउंड. से आई एम स्टैंडिंग ऑन ग्राउंड एंड हियर इज वन पर्सन. सो ट्रेन अगर चल रहा है 5 मीटर पर सेकेंड से और उसमें एक आदमी चल रहा है 2 मीटर पर सेकेंड से. ट्रेन इज मूविंग विद 5 मीटर पर सेकेंड और ट्रेन के अंदर एक आदमी ट्रेन में चल रहा है विद स्पीड ऑफ 2 मीटर पर सेकेंड. ट्रेन के अंदर ही इज मूविंग विद स्पीड ऑफ 2 मीटर पर सेकेंड. सो ग्राउंड के रेस्पेक्ट में इसका स्पीड कितना हो जाएगा? व्हाट विल बी हिज स्पीड विद रिस्पेक्ट टू ग्राउंड? फॉर अ पर्सन हु इज स्टैंडिंग ऑन द ग्राउंड, ट्रेन इज मूविंग विद 5 and this person is inside the train moving with 2. So for this person his speed will be 5 plus 2 meter per second. Similarly here for this person is telling that this is going down with a1 and is himself going down with a. So with respect to ground iska overall acceleration will be a plus a1. And similarly for this one, person is seeing that this is going up with a, the person is coming down. So with respect to ground, a1 minus a is what this has moved net upward. Net upward is a1 minus a. That is what. Now I have to solve these three equations. These three equations, what do I do is first of all I can eliminate a1 from these two. How do I eliminate that? Let us multiply by 3 by 2. Let us multiply this entire equation by 3 by 2. So what do I have? I have 3t by 2 minus 30 is equals to 3a1 minus 3a. Yeah. And what do I have to do is I have to subtract these two equations. So minus plus minus plus. I have to subtract these two equations. So 30 plus 30 is, okay, I'll rub this part, quickly see. 30 plus 30, how much? 30 plus 30 is 60, and this is minus t minus 1.5 minus 5t by 2 minus 5t by 2. This thing is done. Now let us come to this portion. 3a plus 3a is 6a. This is equals to 6a. Okay, I have now this one equation here and this one equation here. I have to solve these two equations now. So what do? I need to find the value of acceleration. So I have to eliminate tension. Okay, so I'll write 60 minus 5 by 2, and value of tension I'll keep 10 plus a by 2. 10 plus a by 2. 10 plus a by 2. This is equals to 6a. This means 60 minus 25 minus 5a by 4 is 6a. This is 35, right? 5 35 is equals to, this is how much? It goes there, this is 4, this is 29a. So the value of a is 140 by 29 meter per second square. You can write it as 40g by 29, 14g by 29 meter per second square, whatever. This is the acceleration of this. I have found out a, I can find everything else. I have got a, I can find out t from here. I can find out a1 as well. All the accelerations I can get now just by the calculations. And now the question is, after how much time this will strike here? Therefore, I was more focused on finding out a. क्योंकि मेरे को चाहिए था time when this block will strike this one. After how much time it will strike? See, S equals to ut0 half a t square. I have to find out the time from there. So what is the time? Let us send these things here. So this is 0. This is how much? This is 70, right? Okay, this is 70. So I have 0.2 into 29 by 70 ka root under. So t is 0.2 into 29 by 70. 0.2 into 29 by 70 ka root under. If you remove this thing, okay, it's a very, very bad calculation. I can take 10 outside. Is the calculation correct, right? 20 centimeter was given, na? S equals to ut plus half a t square. So this is 2 into 70, yes. 0.2 into 29 by 70. Okay, calculation इतना ही गंदा है, चलेगा. Yeah. 10 बाहर अगर निकाल देंगे हम, so I have root under 29 2 is 58 by 7. So 7 8 is 56. Okay, approximately I can cancel by 8. 7 8 is 56 and 8 is 2 root 2. I have no other option to cancel it. I don't think there is any other better way. 7 8 is 56 and 8 is what? 2 root 2. So this is root 2 by 9. This is 1.4 by 9. Approximately this is how much you can find out. This is how much? Okay, I guess you can do the calculations on your own. Just let me check कोई calculation कुछ गड़बड़ नहीं हुआ ना. 14g by 9, that is 140 by 29. S equals to ut half a t square. This is 2 into 70, and this is 29 into 0.2 by 70. This is 2 by that is 58 7. 10 is taken outside. 7 8 is 56. Okay, I can take it as 2 root 2. So this is root 2 by 9 approximately. This is 1.414, or let us, for argument's sake, let us take 1.4 only. 1.4 by 9. This is 14 by 90. What is the value of this? 9 ones are 9. 0.50, 9 fives are 45, again 50. This is this much by 10. 0.15 approximately is coming. You can check once the answer. I don't know, it's 0.25 approximately. Maybe some calculations here and there you can find out, or maybe I have taken some bad approximations, therefore the answer is coming like that. Okay, let us see once question number 29. I'll come back to question number 28 calculations once again. Let us first of all cover question 29 quickly. So you see in question number 29, what is being asked is, in the previous problem, if this was 2 kg and 3 kg, what was the mass m so that this remains at rest? Question number 29, what should be this mass m so that this system remains at rest? This is 2 kg and this is 3 kg and this is m. So in the figure it is asked, in the question it is asked, what should be this mass m so that this remains at rest? So now if you carefully see, just by looking at the question, don't answer that here 2 plus 3 5 hoga, this should be 5. No, that is not the proper way. We have to solve it. In fact, when I solve, you will see the answer is less than 5. See, this should remain at rest, मतलब tension कितना होना चाहिए mg, because the force acting downward is mg. Tension should be mg means यहाँ भी mg, यहाँ पे है mg by 2 and यहाँ tension should be mg by 2 because tension will get divided into two parts, mg by 2 and mg by 2. Now if you remember, I had told you tension का shortcut formula लिखाया था कि this tension will be equal to 2m1 m2g 2m1 m2g by m1 plus m2. See, this g and g gets cancelled out, so I'll directly get the value of m, and what is that? 2 to the 4, 4 to the 8, 8 3 the 24 by 5. 24 by 5, that is how much? 5 4 are 20, 4.8 kg. 4.8 kg is the answer. I had given this formula, right? Tension का formula लिखा है ना, 2 m1 m2g by m1 plus m2. That directly I have used here. This should be a tension, so I can directly find the value of m. So this should be less than 5 kg. I have exactly found out how much, 4.8 kg. So don't guess the value, it will be 5 kg. Now let us come to final question, question number 30, and then we'll jump to there once check the calculations. Question number 30, find the tension in the string. Everything is given. So find the tension in the string. So here is one pulley, here is 1 kg which is kept, और यहाँ से घुमा के ऐसे 1 kg is kept here. So I guess this is a straightforward question. You can draw. 1 kg will naturally go down, acceleration is here, tension is upward. What is the equation for this? It will be 10 minus t equals to mass into acceleration. इसके लिए एक ही force लग रहा है leftward. There is no other force. So I'll write tension equals to mass into acceleration. You simply add 10 equals to 2a, a equals to 5. A equals to 5 you put here a equals to 5, t equals to 5 Newton directly. So the value of tension is 5 Newton. I have got it. ठीक है? You can once please check the calculations here. The answer should match because previously when I had done this, the answer was coming out exact 0.25. It will come out. I hope the answer is 0.25, 28, right? The answer is 0.25 second. You check once, the calculation somewhere might have went wrong. Acceleration is 14g by 29. Okay, acceleration कहीं गड़बड़ निकला हमारा. Okay, I have just rubbed the equations. Hopefully the equations were correct. You can once check the calculations. आपका answer सही आ जाएगा because I had checked the answers are perfect. Absolutely no error with the answers. ठीक है. So from question number 31 onwards, the question is of constraint motion. So this constraint motion is beyond the purview of this particular course for now. As far as supernova is concerned, I can give some supplementary materials if someone is very much interested. Otherwise, we can let this thing go. But if anyone is interested, certainly they can contact me. And if any doubts regarding these solutions also, you can ask me. Okay? Thank you very much.